So who?
Yep, because we found it.
Yep.
Alex would just point the gun out the window and just shoot one of them.
Okay, so Alex is next. Who wants to go after Alex? Jimmy or Marco?
Oh, right. Say again?
Is
Who wants to go after Alex in the initiative?
I'll do it.
Okay. And then I'll leave Jimmy
he's
and
still yeah, he's still mustering.
yeah. And I'll put Ken at the bottom. All right. So Ben, Tali, if you want to roll control and con, difficulty. I'm gonna say difficulty 3. Basically, you have to. I mean, it's gonna take to be able to avoid hitting them or being hit by them. It's gonna take some pretty good driving. So, difficulty 3.
I got a success. I got another success. Can I buy one more die?
You have to declare it before you roll.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise people will just keep buying momentum until they succeed. Alright, so 2 successes. Basically, you jerk the wheel a bit more and accidentally just plow one over, so now one's dead. So it's out of your way, but you did kill someone, so... well, actually, no, I won't say he's dead because that would be more like a complication. I'll say you plow into him and he goes under, but then you look behind you and he's trying to get up to his feet. So he's not dead, but he's definitely not going to be a bother for you guys anymore. But you still got 5 of them on you. So now I need Alex. I'm guessing you want to shoot. You said you want to shoot at them, right?
Yep.
All right. Go ahead and roll control and security. Are you firing all 3 bullets, or are you just trying to take your time and aim, and then fire?
He's gonna take. He's gonna take his time and fire at least one bullet at a time. So
Okay.
he's gonna fire one bullet and.
Okay. So do you want to use the minor action of aim?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means you'll get to re-roll 1d20, difficulty 2, and looks like you're gonna have to roll that 0 to try to get a success.
Okay. Difficulty 2.
And you got it with that re-roll. You took aim, you fired, bullet goes into him, and you have a. I gave you guys. I put the Beretta M9 in your character sheet, so all you gotta do is click on that to do the damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, basically you shoot him just straight in the chest, and he just collapses dead. So that's 4 that you guys have left. You don't 2 that you don't have to worry about. All right, and Marco, what does Marco want to do?
Hmm. Well, frankly, I'm not really sure what I could practically do, you know? Like, 1, I'm in the van. 2, just really trying to not look at the, dead bodies around here. 3, feral people!
Well, if you want, I can have Ken hand you the shotgun, and you can try to take aim and fire.
I mean, I hope so.
Just remember.
Maybe. I never shot people before, and I'm not really inclined to shoot people, even if they're trying to kill us.
Well, if you don't want to, Ken will do it, so you don't have to. You can.
Can you do that
All right.
instead, Ken?
So we'll just say that you're gonna pass on your action for the moment. Jimmy, what do you want to do?
Like, I guess following, pursuit with everybody else.
Well, you're in the van. You're already, you know. Do you want to take the shotgun and shoot? Do you want to morph into something and try to fight? Because they're trying to climb in the windows.
Right now, I'll just use a gun. Because the
Okay.
only thing, if like, because I wouldn't know how to transform regularly anyway. The only thing I'd be able to do is gorilla, and that just basically wreck the vehicle anyway.
True. All right. So control and security difficulty 2. Keep in mind you only have one shotgun shell in the shotgun left, so you need to definitely get 2 successes to make it count.
Alright.
And you guys have momentum. I
Control
think
and
you have 3.
security. Alright. Hmm. Okay, I'll claim another momentum.
Okay.
I'll claim a dice for momentum.
All right.
Here that we don't waste a shell.
Oh, nice. You get that momentum back.
There we go.
So you
Flint.
I gotta write something down so I don't forget.
I rack the shell and coldly take aim at one of the things trying to jump at us.
Okay, yeah, it's banging on the glass towards the back of the van, trying to get in. You fire through the glass. The glass and the shells go right into its chest, and it just goes flying back dead. So now you have 3 that are left. However, due to the vehicle picking up speed, these feral humans are very fast and very, but they're not as fast as a van. So eventually, you guys kind of pull away. Um, let's see. After a little bit of time, probably like 5 minutes or so, I need who's in the back, because I know Ben is driving, so I'm gonna put Ben up top there. But who's in the back?
I know I will be.
Okay, and I know Eli is probably because he's dying, so he's probably in the back. Okay, so I'll say Alex and then Eli, and then middle seats I'll say Jimmy and Marco, and then Ken can be um, in the passenger seat. Unfortunately, I have to do this for everybody's UI. I probably should have thought this through. Alright, so Alex, roll Insight Security, difficulty 1. Since you're back, and let me know what you get.
3. Apparently.
You said 3? 3
Yeah.
successes? Okay. So you guys get 2 momentum. You see 2 Forest Ranger pickup trucks pulling up behind you guys. It's still quite a distance away, probably a couple minutes behind you. I mean, but you're on a narrow road, and they're pickup trucks, so they're probably going to be a bit faster than you guys. But I guess the question is, Alex, what do you do? When you see them coming at you? They're driving really fast. What do you do?
He calls out. There's 2 forest ranger vehicles. What should we do?
Do they look friendly, or do they look like they're gonna run us off the road? Because my eyes are glued in the front.
They're driving really fast.
Well, this can't be good. I don't think we can outrun them in this thing.
Yeah.
All right, Marco, roll Insight Security, difficulty 1. At this point, everyone has looked back, well, except for Ben, and seen the trucks.
Giving you threat.
Okay. Ooh. Do you want
Hey.
to spend 2 momentum?
Haying. Haying.
Are you gonna spend 2 momentum to get rid of it?
That's what I literally just said. I'm paying.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you There it is. You guys get a momentum, so that's 4 momentum now. Um, and you, Marco, you notice a canine police truck behind them. And then, like maybe 30 seconds later, the canine police truck does a pit maneuver on one of the forest ranger trucks, and the forest ranger truck kind of spins out of control and flies into a ditch. And now it's just one forest ranger truck hauling ass towards you, and then you guys can also start hearing gunshots being exchanged between the 2 vehicles behind you. I'm assuming Ben is still gonna keep driving as fast as he possibly can.
Yeah, getting away from this.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does Marco feel about seeing what he appears to be his dad's truck kind of running ranger trucks off the road?
Definitely slightly terrified, also bamboozled, and definitely trying to figure things out quickly as best he could. But upon seeing that, he definitely would flinch from the ranger truck just crashing like that,
Right. So,
and just
yeah, go ahead.
if he, hopefully it is his dad trying to help them. If these ranger trucks are actually trying to get after them for a not so savory purpose,
Right.
but I'm definitely gonna be cautious and take cover as much as I can.
Gotcha. So, as you guys are driving, Ben, I'm not even going to make you roll because it's obvious. The boomerang-shaped UFO descends in front of you guys. It's probably 20 or 30 feet off the ground, and it's about the size of your vehicle, or at least it is right now. But it looks like it's going to land in front of you to try to stop you guys from continuing. Ben, what do you do?
Is there any like dirt roads on the side that kind of go in either direction?
Let's see. Where are you guys at? If you want to spend 2 momentum, I'll say that there's one that goes to the right and one goes to the left. And you can pick.
Yes,
Yeah.
spend it.
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay.
I want to try to go to the right.
Alright, so you spin the wheel, the van kind of crazily turns and bounces and jumps onto the dirt road.
Hang on!
The ship kind of pulls back up and tries to follow you. Behind you guys, you still can see the the pickup truck and the police vehicle. Let's see. I'm just trying to find some tokens. And kind of change this a bit so that everybody can kind of see what it looks like. It's weird I can't find the pickup truck picture. Oh, it might be on a whole other... Yeah, I'll use this one. Alright. One sec, I'm just trying to get all these tokens lined up on everybody's UI. Alright, so that's kind of what it looks like. I think there's just one left. Alright, so you're flying down the road, or this dirt road, this path. It's basically like a hunter's path. It's not even really a road, but you're driving down it as fast as you can. But you know this Kelbert scout, this scout ship basically just kind of does it. Its ability to catch up to you is pretty easy. It just kind of stays a little bit above the trees above you, and Let me get everybody to roll another insight security difficulty 2 to see if you notice something as this thing is chasing you.
Rolled.
Okay, just let me know how many if you get 2 successes or not, because I gotta
I
change some
got 3
stuff.
successes.
All right, so
I got 2.
okay.
I got 3.
I'm just gonna say this is the dirt road now. All
I
right.
got a critical fail and a critical success.
Oh, nice. All right, so this is the dirt road. This thing is above you.
Buy that off.
Yeah, you could buy that off. I think at this point, bringing you back probably back down to where you were, as far as
Well, how everybody got successes, right? And I think Matt got a critical success.
Yeah.
okay, so
Wait.
So yeah, we'll buy. I'll buy it off.
Yeah. You
cool.
can buy it off.
All right, so just give me 1 second. Um, yeah, you basically everyone who gets 2 successes or more, which I think is everybody, you notice in the trees. You do notice more of these feral humanoids kind of trying to catch up to you guys, but you guys are in vehicles, so you kind of just leave them in the trees. But you do notice one individual kind of jumping around in the trees. It's Skava, the Kelbrid scout who defected to the human side, and she is kind of you see her grab onto a tree with like her bare hands. She'll push herself off to another tree, and as she's reaching to catch that tree, her hand just grows claws, and she just sticks them into like her metal gauntlet grows claws, and she sticks it into the bark of that tree and like climbs up, and then she jumps to like a further tree, and when it looks like she's not gonna make it, she like does kind of like a Spider-Man maneuver and points her hand towards that tree, and a long spike comes out of her palm and shoots into that tree, and she pulls herself to that, and she's basically going the same speed as the van doing those kind of maneuvers, and eventually she jumps onto the boomerang shaped UFO, and that's the last you see of her for the moment. All right, let's see. So Alex, you're next to Eli. I need you to make an insight or reason medicine roll, difficulty 2.
Go with insight this for good reason. Just trust me.
Yeah.
I go with insight.
Yeah. And just let me know how many successes you got. Basically, I'm never going to be looking at the Roll20 chat anymore because I'm doing everyone's UI.
I got 1.
Alright. And what I say the difficulty was? Oh, yeah. I think I said it was 2, right? Yeah, you just kind of glancing down at Officer Eli, you're like, oh, he looks fine. He'll be okay. Yeah, I see his eyes kind of fluttering open every once in a while. He'll be fine. So yeah. After another 5 minutes of driving, you guys see sparks just kind of flying out of the boomerang shaped vessel above you, and one of the sparks, well, a bunch of the sparks kind of land on the trees, and then basically a forest fire just erupts. And now above you, you also have to deal with a fire that's slowly beginning to surround you and encompass you. A bunch of like animals and birds and all kinds of things just kind of start scattering in the woods, screaming and making noises. However, the good news is that ship that has been following you kind of veers and it kind of stutters a bit, and then veers left and veers right, and then kind of crashes into a tree and explodes. You don't know if Scava was on it, but you do know that she just destroyed that ship for you. At this point, the pickup truck is pretty much like 10 feet behind you. The other truck is 10 feet behind that one. they're still exchanging fire, but now you guys are taking fire. Um, so we're gonna go back to the initiative order. Ben, I need a control and con difficulty 3 to be able to drive and pull ahead, so that you guys aren't just sitting ducks.
All right. I'm gonna give you a threat for an extra die.
Okay.
2 successes so far. 3 successes.
All right. You pull ahead a little bit. Maybe you saw like a log halfway in the road, and you veered around it, but the pickup truck didn't, so it slammed into it and kind of bounced over it, and causing it to lose speed. At that point, the police truck rear ends it and tries to cause it to spin out, but it doesn't. And Alex, what do you want to do? Anything?
He's got 2 bullets left, and
Yeah, it'd probably be a difficulty 3 to hit them. They're only.
I'm guessing.
Go
I'm
ahead.
guessing the cop car is actually helping us, so I'm gonna shoot the ranger.
Okay. Are you aiming for the people, or the tire, or the engine? What are you aiming at?
I'm gonna aim for the tire.
All right, that's a difficulty 4. That's why you don't never see people do it in the movies. But yeah, go ahead if you want to. Difficulty 4. Control security.
Control. And momentum do we have?
You have 2, I believe. You could give me threat.
And I give you 2 threat.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
He's building
damn
his
it.
threat up.
It was either use the last 2 momentum, or yeah. I got only 2.
Yeah, you did you use your determination last time?
No. I haven't used the determination.
If you have a value that applies, you can just get 2 successes from that. I think technically you're supposed to do that before you roll, but if you haven't used it already, I don't see.
What
any
about
harm.
helping friends?
Hmm?
What about helping friends?
Yeah, that'll work. That'll be a good value. You're helping your friends escape, so now make sure that you tick that determination off, though. You won't. If we end the book with this session, you'll be able to get everyone will be able to get determination back for next session. But if we end up going to part 4, then you won't have it for next session. But yeah, so the bullet hits the tire. It hits a rock and spins out, but it turns, and you see the. I'm actually going to spend the 2 threat you gave me to say that the police truck just T-bones it, and they both crash as you guys pull away. Marco, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
Hold on, make fucking tight. Shit. I'm sorry if I'm getting just spacing out. It's just a lot of stuff been going on out off game.
It happens.
Shit. My brain farted.
Well, you just saw your dad. Well, what you imagine would be your dad kind of crash the car, his police truck into the pickup truck that was chasing you, and then the van is pulling away. So you're getting away, but if that's your dad, then you're basically leaving your dad behind. So what do you want to do? I'll say you also hear barking.
My dad's over there. We can try and get him with us, right?
Hey, stop! Vehicle. So,
All right. I'm stopping.
do you want to get your dad?
He's already going to get his dad right fucking now.
Okay, so you jump out and run back. I'm gonna jump to Jimmy. You see the Ben has stopped the vehicle, and Marco is running back to get his dad. What does Jimmy do?
Does it look like he needs help getting his dad up?
Well, he's about halfway there. The vehicle's like 50 feet back, so he's like maybe 20 or 30 feet away from the van now. So you don't know until he gets there.
I'll run after.
Okay. So we'll say Jimmy is there. Marco is there-ish. Alright. And so you both are heading there. You'll get on your next turn. You will arrive there. I'm gonna say that Ken is gonna roll it because he's gonna have to. He's gonna roll inside security to see if. Oh, his inside's 7, so that's great, and his security is 1, so that's great. Yeah, he doesn't notice anything. Eli, I'm actually gonna say I was gonna have him do something, even though he was dying. What was it? Oh wait, let me check my UI because maybe he can actually do something. None of that. He has a determination, but he can't really use it because he's not challenging his values, and he can't use his values because he's basically failed at them. So, yeah, I don't think he can do anything at the moment. Actually, who's still in the vehicle? Ben and Alex, right?
Yep, I'm right next to Eli.
Eli. Yeah. Make a insight engineering or insight medicine difficulty 3. And this isn't really attached to like your guys' initiative. This is just something that you might notice.
I'm gonna go with give you 2.
You're gonna give me 2 threat?
Yeah.
Okay. Back.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, 4.
Alright. So you notice, first of all, he's probably about to die in like the next few seconds. But you also notice on the Zipposite band that he's wearing, which all of you wear so that when you morph, you can morph baggy clothing and backpacks and stuff. But you notice that it's blinking really fast red. Like there's like a little dot on it blinking. You don't know what it means, but you think that it's got something to do with him almost dying. So what do you want to do? You won't be able to do it this turn, but on your next turn you'll be able to do it, whatever it is.
He goes, Ben, it's blinking. He pulls up the arm so you can see.
What does it even mean? Is it a bomb? Is it him being close to death? Safest thing to do is probably bring him outside just in case it's a bomb.
Okay, so on your next turn, if you want to, Alex, you can start hauling him out of the van. Now, it's going to be Sergeant Gabriel's turn. Marco's dad. He kind of stumbles out of the vehicle. He's got his canine, Una, with him. And he's got his handgun, and he just unloads. Like, Marco, as you're running towards the truck, you see him just unload his pistol into the pickup truck. And you see, like, red splotches of blood just appear on the windshield. And
He quickly covers his eyes, even as he keeps running straight.
Yeah, and then Una, like, is, like, standing by Gabriel, just kind of, like, protectively. But then when he sees you, he runs towards you and kind of, like, nuzzles you. And Jimmy, you see this as well. And then Gabriel kind of turns and looks to you. He says, Marco, my truck has had it. We've got to get out of here. I don't know what's wrong with these forest rangers. things I've seen him do. We just have to get out of here. What happened to you guys?
There's a van. No time to explain. There's a van. We gotta go.
Okay,
We
okay.
need to go.
So he's gonna run, and that's gonna be his action. Him shooting and running. So now it is, well, they're dead, so don't gotta worry about them. The surviving Kelbrid, or the surviving alien pilot of that craft, gets a turn. So let me find his character sheet. No, that's none of this is. We'll just say it's this one. So you see what looks to be like a high-tech, futuristic knight in like battle armor. It's chrome, but he has like glowing blue eyes, and you can't really see any skin. And I'm gonna put a picture on everybody's UI so you can see. But he doesn't appear to be armed, but as you well know from Scava, that his whole armor is weapons basically. And he's basically just now, coming out of the woods from where you guys saw the scout ship crash, and he's coming towards you, and you hear in like a robotic voice, he says, "Humans, surrender." So now it's back to the top. Ben, it's your turn. You're kind of waiting for Alex to pull Eli out, and you're also waiting for Marco and Jimmy and Gabriel to run back to the vehicle. What do you want to do?
I want to try to position the van to get out of there. If there's an opening. If there's not, I want to like honk the horn.
Okay.
Like, hey, come on!
Roll Insight Con, difficulty 1, and if you succeed, this gives you like the best way out of this current location, like regardless if there's a clear road ahead.
Okay, you said difficulty 4?
Difficulty 1.
Oh, 1. All right. 2 successes.
Nice. So you guys get a momentum. Don't know where you guys are at the moment. Let's see. So you're at 3, I think.
Yeah, 3.
So, yeah, you basically just, you see a few rocks in the road, so you kind of maneuver it so that you're definitely, like, all you got to do is hit the pedal and go straight, and you're out of there. Now it is Alex's turn. Alex, what do you want to do? I believe you have 1 bullet left. Oh, you're pulling Eli out, aren't you?
Does he see anything else?
As far as what?
Like anything, everything that's happening around him.
You probably don't notice Marco and Jimmy running back yet, but you do see the creature that basically just ordered your surrender, and you know that Ben is.
Yeah, he's not.
So he's not going to do it?
No, he's going to say, no, I'm going to keep him in here because I don't trust that alien.
Okay.
And I won't have time.
So what do you want to do then?
He just keeps a watchful eye on that,
The alien's walking towards the van, like it's not stopping. It looks like he's injured, like he's limping a little bit, but he is moving very quickly.
Does that, pose a, he's gonna yell back at the other two to hurry up.
Okay. You know what? Roll presence and command just to like inspire them to run faster or something. If you get a success, then basically you'll get a momentum that they could use for that purpose. You'll give them a moment.
I'm gonna inspire them to hurry up.
Okay.
Kind of like inspire them to run faster.
Yeah, you're rallying everybody basically. Oh, nice. So
yeah, see.
So you guys are up to 7 momentum now. But yeah, so that Marco, it's your turn. You see this creature up ahead. It basically ordered everyone to surrender. You heard Alex, hurry up. So what does Marco do?
I look at Una, and then my dad, and I am fucking booking.
All right. Roll fitness and con, difficulty 1, and you got a bunch of momentum you might want to use.
Aha, momentum go brrr.
Nice. So you guys get another. Oh wow, you used 2 momentum. All right, so you're up to 6 momentum, and you just book it. Jimmy, what do you want to do? Run faster or do something else?
Like consider like I'll run faster to the vans. Like there's not really any other option I can do anymore at the moment.
Okay, roll a fitness and con, difficulty 1, and like I said to Marco, you guys do have plenty of momentum if you want to use it.
All right, fitness con rolling with 3.
Okay. Nice. So back up to 6. So yeah, you guys book it. Let's see, Gabriel. I'll roll for him running real quick. Let's see, his con. I mean, he drove a truck, so he's probably a 3. Fitness is a cop, so it's probably 9. So let's see. Oh wow. So yeah, he follows you guys, and you guys get to the truck. Let's see. Kent, you guys use the shotgun. Okay, so it's back to the alien pilot. He comes up to the van probably just as you guys jump into the van. And you guys are now, the van is now at full capacity. You guys have 7 people in the van, so nobody else can get in the van, and you can't morph anything that's bigger than a person. So I'm guessing this is where Ben puts the pedal to the metal.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
And is the dog in with it?
Yes,
Oh,
the dog is
yeah.
in.
We'll say 8 is the maximum capacity for a minivan, just so that we don't leave the dog behind.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you guys continue out of there, and we'll say for free. I'll tell you for free that you could see like some kind of blue scanning beam coming out of his eyes, kind of scanning the vehicle, and then he just turns around and walks back into the woods as you guys flee. All right.
Did you guys see that blue, whatever the hell that was?
I think so. Yet,
So.
I think Una looks like a very nice pillow right now. He just gently sets his head on Una.
All right. So who is in the back with Eli?
My character. And I go,
Still, okay.
hey, I need a medical person. I don't know what this is. Please, somebody help. The big hole.
Does anyone have a decent medical score?
Let me see.
Cause
I have a 2 in medicine.
you know what? Sergeant Gabriel. I think
I've got no medicine.
it makes sense. You know, he has to maybe he has some medical, acumen because of his canine. So we'll see what he figures out. He looks at he thinks first of all that Eli's on the brink of death, but he also thinks that whatever that band is around it that's blinking really really fast and is now basically almost solid red, he seems to think that that's probably more important than it might be a little bit more important than what people are thinking, just because it's clearly blinking as he's dying. So of course y'all didn't get briefed on what the band does besides that one thing, but he definitely thinks that if anyone had maybe an engineering background, they could probably figure it out.
I'm pretty decent at engineering.
Yeah, insight or reason in engineering, difficulty 2.
Let me tell you, he probably. I did point it out to you. when you hop back in.
Alright, okay, so you got your 2. You think that it not only assists with morphing, clothes and stuff, but also it probably monitors health, and it's probably a button also of some kind.
I think it's monitoring our health. I think it's like the ones that's connected to us in hospitals, right? The one our heart monitors. But what if I could just?
Let me press
I
the.
tried to press the button.
Alright, that requires no
Okay.
roll. You press the button, and everybody who's, I will say, the back 2 rows, so Marco, Gabriel, and Alex, and probably Una, you hear like a very light hiss, like tss, and then what sounds like an injection, and then you see um, Eli's face turn blue. And I don't mean blue like, oh, I lost some color because of, I'm dying. But it literally starts turning blue, and his mouth begins to disappear. And you watch as his back and his chest that had like, you know, the blood and you could see bone and muscle. You see that begin to mend, and blue fur begin to kind of cover where he was injured, all over his chest, and you realize his spine is also beginning to elongate, and basically we're coming to the point where it's coming to the point where he's growing extra limbs, and so he's getting bigger, and you're gonna if he's gonna complete the morph, you guys have to stop and get him out of the vehicle, otherwise it will be very detrimental to everybody.
Oh boy.
Stop the vehicle. We need to get him out.
I thought so. Yep. Okay, I'm stopping the vehicle.
And we'll say you guys are
You guys.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, we need to get him out.
All right, so he's outside the vehicle, or actually, someone, Alex for sure, since you're, in the back with him. Roll a fitness and, I guess fitness and security to kind of pull him out. If anyone wants to assist, I'll say Ken is probably gonna assist. Also.
I'm gonna use 2 momentum.
Okay. Wow, Ken actually did something. Jesus! Alright, so that's 6 successes, and you guys have 5, I believe. No, 6 momentum, so... shit, what'd I say did I even say a difficulty? We'll say it's 2,
I used 2 momentum,
so 4...
momentum, so it went down to 4.
Yeah, and then plus 4. We'll just say you're at 8 momentum. You're at full momentum. So yeah, with Ken's help, you're able to get him out, put him on the ground, and he turns into, after a lot of crunching and a lot of bone snapping sounds and organs rearranging, after probably 3 minutes, he turns into an alien. Let me find the picture of his face. And you guys actually, the ones who are underground, you guys recognize the alien as Anjin, the Andalite that you guys met underground. Jimmy, you just see this this centaur-looking guy that has like eye stalks on the top of his head and no mouth, and he's blue. And that's the first time you've seen him, so you're like, what the hell? But everyone else, you know that he apparently has morphed into Anjin, the Andalite. Yeah, after
Engine?
he kind of blinks, and you guys hear in your head, no, it's still me, Officer Eli. Thank you. Morphing cures pretty much most wounds, and that device that the Kelbrid invented apparently instigates morphing during situations such as mine. So thank you for that. I can now return to my normal form. Now, funny thing, I actually have to roll for this because Yeah. All right. So Andalites are aliens, sentient aliens. So it's gonna be command and control. I'm gonna difficulty. He hasn't morphed them before. However, he's already morphed, so demorphing is usually easier. I'm gonna say just difficulty 1. Okay. So, and then basically what you see is, his eye stalks shrink back in, and then his spine kind of shrink to his normal humanoid size. A mouth just appears. And of course, during all this, it's like you hear crunching and squishing sounds. It takes about 3 or 4 minutes. And then after that, he is back to his normal self and completely healed. And he looks to everyone and he says, "Did we make it out? Did we get out of the forest yet?" Anybody?
Unfortunately, we didn't, but we are definitely on our way out of here as soon as we want to go.
Okay. Great. Yeah, let's. He looks around and he says, "Did you eliminate everyone that saw us?" He looks between Ken and Alex and Ben, and then looks over and sees Gabriel, and kind of narrows his eyes. "Are you sure that's Gabriel? Remember what happened with Fassi back there?"
We need to do a roll to check.
I mean, you can try, but they're pretty much gonna be indistinct between. I mean, they're pretty good at looking like other people, so it'll be.
I can't threaten anybody with a shotgun.
But wouldn't the dog know the difference?
Well, as far as you guys can tell, the dog is like acting like a normal dog, like he's nuzzling up against Gabriel and Marco. Like it seems like the dog doesn't notice any difference. Like it seems like this is Gabriel, his owner. So as far as you can tell, that's really him. But you don't know the extent of how they can change. You know what I mean? Like maybe if it's anything like morphing, you literally become a copy of that person. So the dog wouldn't know the difference. But Eli kind of looks around and he's like, "Leave this to me." And Gabriel, of course, looks kind of shocked at what he just saw. This blue deer man, basically with a scorpion's tail, kind of appear and then disappear. And he walks over to Sergeant Gabriel and he says, "Sergeant, we have a problem." He looks over to Marco. He's like, "These things that were trying to escape, they can look like anybody, and by the time we realize it, it's usually too late. So, but then he keeps on. He stops. He looks around, and he says, "You didn't answer my question earlier, though. Did we leave any survivors? If they know who we are, they're gonna go after our families."
I don't think there is any survivors.
What about the feral people?
He shakes his head and he's like, "They're really of no concern. They're used as small time shock troops and slaves, but they're not very reliable. All they'll be able to tell them is that we're human. As long as no Kelbrid saw you and survived, you should be good."
Well,
Someone did the predator
yes.
thing.
unfortunately,
Yes,
we
they-
got scanned, I think, or some sort of blue light came from one of those armored guys. And as we were taking off, it scanned us with the blue light, I think.
Blue. Well, that means he's a scout. Did he have any kind of specific kind of armor? Was it brown, black, gold, chrome, green?
Do we remember?
Well, you saw the picture.
Silver then.
Silver.
So chrome.
He was an officer then. He was probably on that scout ship. Did you at least destroy the scout ship? If you destroyed the scout ship, their computers will be destroyed, and they won't be able
Yes.
to figure out who we are from there. You did? Okay. Then it's just that one guy then, most likely. Usually, scout ships come with two, a pilot and an officer. If the pilot's dead and the scout ship's dead, then all we have to worry about is the officer. Well, someone's got to go back and finish him. If you guys want to go, he looks up at the sky. Yeah, he looks up at where, because the sun is already set. It's night. He says, it's probably nearing 10, 11 o'clock. I'll tell you what, if you guys want to head out, I'll meet you at the beach, Pier 7, tomorrow at noon. And I'll take care of the last Kelbrid. If anyone wants to come with me, you're more than welcome to. Just don't morph into anything unless you absolutely have to. New morphs are really dangerous, as you can tell from your squirrel morph earlier. So he kind of looks around at everybody.
Can I pet your dog?
Sure. I mean, if Una doesn't mind, unless, well, she might sometimes still be, I guess, in...
I run over to your dog and go, hello, I haven't seen you in a while.
So is everybody going to try to acquire the DNA of this
That's the
dog?
This King Shepherd.
I haven't seen you in a while.
Doberman Pinscher.
I'm just like, patting him.
Alright.
I haven't seen you for a while.
I'll just put Una under everybody's available morphs. Is anybody not acquiring Una? What kind of dog is it? Is it Doberman Pinscher or is it German
A
Shepherd?
Doberman.
Okay, Doberman.
A Doberman.
Doberman. Yes, I'll give her a pet too.
Okay, so Una the Doberman. Because I assumed, because it was canine, it was either going to be Doberman or German Shepherd. Alright. And is Marco also going to acquire the DNA of the Una the Doberman, or is he fine? Is he fine with his red wolf?
I'm good with the red wolf, but I'd like to pet. I can't stop myself from petting, but I'm not going to acquire the DNA.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, go ahead.
I mean, I already have a canine, so...
Yeah. Mac, were you going to say something?
My character couldn't resist but patting Uno.
Una, yeah. So Officer Eli will tell you as you guys are petting the dog. First of all, you have to focus to acquire the DNA. You can't just accidentally pet somebody or something and acquire it. So, yeah. But he looks back to Gabriel and he says, I mean, I can suggest something, since we don't know what side you're on. And it looks like Sergeant Gabriel kind of understands what he's saying, and he turns back to you guys and he says, all right, take the van, he just takes out like a credit card and hands it to Marco, and he says, get a hotel, stay there for the next few days. If we get out of here, I'll come and find you guys. Both of us will. Officer Eli seems to be accepting of that. He nods. He says, then it's just the two of us. We'll go back, track that thing down and kill it, and hopefully we won't have to worry about them finding us in our sleep. Speaking
He
of
goes,
which...
I go and give the gun with one bullet left. I go, here's the gun with one bullet left.
Good, because I'm pretty much out, says Gabriel. I used the shotgun and all of my pistol ammo on those damn corrupt forest rangers. And that's when Eli turns and says, are you sure they were forest rangers and not Kelbrid operatives? And he said, nope. They bled like humans, and they died like humans, and they used weapons like humans. I'm pretty sure whatever these Calbrad or whatever you call them, these aliens are, they must be using humans for their own purposes. All right. So Eli is gonna turn and head back. He's gonna say, "Okay, does anyone before we go do this? Does anybody have any questions, or is anybody concerned about anything?"
Nope.
Okay. So you guys hide out at a hotel. Don't answer the door unless it's one of us. Um, and yeah, we'll meet up with you tomorrow at noon at the beach, Pier 7. Tomorrow's Friday, but you guys have a 3-day weekend because of this field trip, so nobody should miss you until Monday. All right, and he just like turns, and the two of them kind of head into the woods. And you can see as Officer Eli is walking besides Sergeant Gabriel, he starts changing back into the Andalite. So I gotta roll for that. Control, command. I'm gonna spend a momentum because this is technically his first time rolling it or morphing it, because the other time was not of his will. So, oh wow! All right, so difficulty was 3. Wait, what's his fatigue? I think his fatigue's a lot. Yeah. Well, actually, no, the morph took it down, so he's back to normal. So instead of difficulty 3, it's difficulty 2. So that is 7 plus, wow. So you guys have 3 bonus momentum and 8 regular momentum. Alright, so he begins his morph as he walks away. You kind of see him changing, and Gabriel's like, whoa. Is Una going with Sergeant Gabriel, or is he staying with you guys? Oh, Nostra disappeared. Whoops.
I'm gonna be holding onto the dog and go, I don't want him to go.
Okay, Una can stay with you guys.
But yeah, if Una wants to stay, Una can stay.
Yeah, I think Una hasn't seen you in a while. She's gonna want to stay. Or is Una a Kelbert operative? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah,
I can do that puppy dog look, like, I don't want him to go.
Yeah. All right. So you guys get back in the van and head out.
Yeah.
In that
And
case,
go find the farthest fucking hotel we could possibly find by the power of my phone.
okay. Oh, that. I forgot y'all still had phones. I need to put another discovery token on your UIs, because that is not going to be helpful with discovery. Alright. Some of y'all have way less discovery, but I can't remember why. I think some of y'all did things with Kelbert operatives that others didn't. That's probably why. Alright.
I'm gonna bring out my phone and just go, oh, what's on, did anyone try to call me or text me?
I mean, probably. You probably find like a bunch of text coming in as you turn your phone on. But yeah. So let's see. Everyone also at the end of this is gonna get another trauma point because of the battle that just happened, especially you know, Eli almost dying, but also Marco seeing frickin' whatchamacallit's heads getting blown off.
Didn't I technically just walk right out of there and just try to not look at it at all? Like, I was like, nyet, 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 no, 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 no.
Yeah, well, everybody's still gonna get one because it's a cumulative. It's all of the events, not just that one thing. And basically, unless you are completely away from it, like, well, Eli almost died, so he still gets a lot. But basically, unless you were completely away from what was going on, you'll still get. Don't worry, you can still spend it at the end of the book to get stuff.
I was in the front seat of the car. Does that count? Was I looking behind, kind
It's
of deal?
it's not just about if you see it though. It's like everything combined. You know, hearing it, just knowing it's happening. Like if I got into the nitty gritty of it, then we'd be here all day just trying to figure out what a quarter of a trauma that somebody gets, and I'm not gonna do that. So, um, we're it,
Technically, me and Ben did get trauma because of Officer Eli being bleeding in the back.
yeah. Um, but like I said, the reason why there's uses for trauma points is because um, it's not a science. You know what I mean? Like it's not mathematical or anything. It's trauma. It's supposed to not make sense sometimes, and it's supposed to be more of an emotional reaction than you know. You looking away from someone being shot is the reason is like the whole point of that's the whole point of it. Um, but like I said, you guys can spend it later at the end of the book for stuff. Um, so yeah, you guys drive out. What time is it? Okay. Um, you leave the. It takes a couple hours to get out of the forest, um, the national forest, because it's huge. Um, and yeah, I'm just looking through. So I had this whole thing planned for like if Eli died, and I actually thought he was going to. I thought y'all were just gonna be like, "What's this flashing light? Oh, let's not mess with it at all." So I have this like 2 whole chapters planned just for that. Um, but so I'm gonna skip that also because I have to go in like 10-15 minutes, and I'm gonna jump to basically the end where you guys are on the beach. Actually, you know what? Let me move everybody's back to the main thingy. Um, so I'm gonna excuse me. I'm just gonna narrate real quick for Eli again. By the time we'd finally made it out of the national forest, it was almost midnight. I had recommended to the students that they stay in a hotel, which I'd offered to pay for, since their high school was closed for a 3-day weekend, and they wouldn't be missed till Monday. Their deceased friends and chaperones would be missed on Monday too. Even the evil Kelbrid operatives would be missed by someone. I told the teenagers to meet me on the beach at noon once we'd all gotten some sleep. Okay. So now, because everybody has gotten sleep, all fatigue will be removed. And basically, when we start the next book, you'll be starting fresh. If you don't spend your, or if you don't, it's not really spending, it's more like using it. But if you don't use your trauma points, then you basically keep them. So I guess they're kind of like reputation like that. But I'm assuming that everyone is gonna use them for, what they're used for. But yeah, you're at least remove all fatigue. And then continuing Eli's narration. At noon that next day, I'd already been on the beach for over 3 hours. I hadn't been able to sleep much the night before. Since it was the middle of January, there weren't many people there, and the breeze and waves would adequately mask our words. I was sitting on a sand dune when the first student approached. Alright, so who's intentionally going to try to show up earlier than noon? Anybody?
Me.
Okay. Anybody else? Alright, so just Alex. Do you want Ken to come with you, or is he going to show up later?
If he wants to come, he can.
Okay, so I'll say you and Ken walk up together. So as soon as Officer Eli sees you, he looks normal. He's wearing civilian clothes. I mean, the whole night last night he was in dirty, bloody um, uh, police uniform, but now you see him in civilian clothes, and he's just sitting there on a sand dune, staring out. And he looks over and he sees you, and he kind of waves as you approach. Is there anything you want to say, like a quick thing before the others arrive?
Yeah, so did everything go okay last night?
Yeah, that other Kelbrid scout officer's dead. Is Marco coming? It got some bad news about his father.
Yeah.
I didn't have a good sleep. I had to spend most of the middle of the early morning just.
Yeah, I didn't get much sleep
Thanks of
either.
hearts about it for. What happened to Dad? What happened to him?
Well, it turns out he was not a Calbert operative, um, but he couldn't morph, and most of his ammo was out, and well, Calbert officers are known for their skill in combat, and he stands up and he kind of looks down and he says, I mean, he died a warrior's death. He kind of looks at you, kind of definitely does not look happy, but like he kind of doesn't know how to, you know, to look, I guess. He doesn't know what to do. He's kind of just waiting for Marco's reaction.
He takes a step back. Eyes just darkened, and without even uttering a single remark, he just leaves to find space for himself.
And as Marco walks away, he says, "I'll catch back up with you when the others arrive." And then,
I think
whoops, that's really loud.
I go. I think it's best if we give him a few
Yeah, I mean it's 11:30.
breathing time.
You guys are early anyway, so he kind of rubs his forehead, and he just, and then at that point, after just kind of waiting for 20 or 30 minutes, Jimmy and Ben show up, and he says, "Okay, well, let's go." He looks to Alex and he says, "You're his friend, right? You're Marco's friend, right?
Yeah.
Why don't It's been about 20 minutes. Why don't you go over there?" And he kind of just shakes his head. He said, "Just try to get him to join us if you can, please. What I've got to say is kind of important."
Yeah. I'll go over and talk to him. I go over to Marco. Hey, Marco. You okay? He walks over to Marco.
You find him curled up into the most tiniest ball you could possibly imagine a human being of his stature presumably in.
Okay, we need to head back. Over. I know.
And then what? There's more of them? Just for just time. Please leave me alone. Just tell me. After all this, just please go away. I'm not a soldier. I'm not. What are we? What the hell did we be? What the hell were we dragged into? We're just nothing but child soldiers. Answer me, please.
I don't know myself.
Mac,
Leave me alone.
you hear
Please.
Officer Eli say, "It's okay, Alex. Come on, we can fill him in later." And he kind of gestures for you to come back over.
Yeah. Just take your time over here.
Let's walk. And
He walks back over.
Eli kind of
Coming over.
gestures for everybody besides Marco, obviously, to just walk with him. And he's like, "Let's just look natural." And look, first of all, he says solemnly, "I'm very sorry that I couldn't protect all of you from well, all of this crap, this war, or from what happened last night. Honestly, it's all my fault. That's how I feel about it. But we have to figure out what to do. The police and the Forest Rangers Association will investigate what happened at the ranger station, and they'll find out that our class was scheduled to be there on a field trip. I guess the good news is there were 4 other classes from different schools who were also supposed to be there. It won't take them long to determine that our bus was the one that was attacked when Miss Walters and Bob and the others turn up missing. That's when those Kelbird spies will take over the investigation. They'll either do it themselves or they'll have their corrupt police officers do it. They'll want to keep their involvement under wraps, though. Eventually, probably tomorrow morning, the Kelbrid-controlled investigators will question us. If we tell them nothing out of the ordinary happened, they'll know we're lying, so we'll have to get our story straight. The most important thing is we cannot tell anyone, human or alien, that we have the ability to morph. Alright, I'm going to start with, well, who wants to respond or react to that first? Out of Jimmy, Ben, and Alex.
Jimmy's statement is that he was never here. His mother left because she was designated chaperone. He was out sick.
He nods. That'll be easily enough to tell them. They'll probably buy that. He looks over to Ben. And what about you? They know that you're on the bus.
So basically, what you're telling me is that they're going to be coming after me. I think I want to disappear. Ghost this place.
Well,
But still fight.
Or,
I mean,
or we can say we came across cannibalistic humans on the ground.
yeah, and get locked up in a mental institution.
yeah. The thing is, what if we say we encountered the feral humans, they'll know that we experienced all the other stuff too, because they know. He kind of sighs when Anjin, well, when I acquired the morphing ability from the octahedron device, the Axamil device, he placed his hand on my head and he, well, I think I told some of you some of this, but I had my memories altered in the past because of this whole frickin' alien crap. And he basically restored my memory to normal. So now I kind of know a lot of stuff that I wish I didn't. But basically, look, honestly, I really don't want to do this, like this war, nothing. I don't want to do any of it. I never did. That's why I had my memories altered. I just want to go back to a normal life. But I don't know. Maybe some of you want to just live a normal life too, or maybe you want to fight like Ben does. So I think it would be fair to take a vote. Since we're dealing with secret identities and superpowers and alien invasions and potentially corrupt governments, our decision has to be mutual and unanimous. And I will vote with the majority, because I have kind of like a more biased opinion. If you guys are all in, I'm all in. If you guys just want to scatter and ghost the town and not think about it and just try to live a normal life, I'll do that too. But just keep in mind, if you do try to leave, and they'll try to hunt you down with whatever information they have about you. Even if they just know, what class you were in, they'll be able to eventually find your family, your friends. They'll use it against you. But
who's to say that my family is not part of this?
There
What
would
if
be no way to
my
know.
family is exactly? And I don't. I mean, I don't trust home sometimes. So I'm gonna fight no matter what. even if the team decides not to. This is too big. This is too big for all of us. This is probably too big for me, but it's a worthy cause. I mean, obviously, our planet's in danger, and we've been granted these great gifts, but something inside me is just willing to fight.
Okay. So we got your vote. Kenneth looks over to you, Alex, and he says, I mean, like Officer Eli said, I don't want to be the target of an alien invasion. I don't want them to come after us, my family, people I care about. But if we try to keep up, if we just lie and then just try to live our normal lives, we're gonna slip up and they're gonna figure it out eventually anyway. Somehow. I mean, I left my phone off and in the hotel room because I knew I was coming here. I didn't need it. So, and I didn't want anyone tracking me through it. And with modern technology, it's only a matter of time before they, do figure out who we are. So I say I agree with Ben. I say we fight, but we lie to them and just tell them, you know, maybe we saw some crazy hill people, but other than that, um,
Yeah.
we'll say that there was the ground just. He kind of looks confused and he looks back to Officer Eli. He's like, by the way, what did happen back there when we were shot at? And Officer Eli says, oh, yeah, that. So,
Um, we
basically,
can just say it was a caving.
sorry, what was that, Matt?
He says a cave in.
Well, yeah, we could lie about
Yeah.
that, but I mean, if you want to know what really happened, I can tell you because Anjin, in the small amount of time that he had with me, with my brain, he told me. Um, did any of you see like a small drone or something mechanical that looked like a bird, maybe kind of flying beside the van or bus? He kind of looks around.
No.
Yeah,
No.
Oh, okay.
bird.
So you saw it. Okay. Well, Anjin
I
said,
saw a deer.
yeah. Anjin said that the Calbrid weren't even after us. They were after a group of aliens that are also on this planet. They're about the size of a flea, and they fly around in small, tiny ships like that are about the size of a drone. Well, they were after them, and they must have fired and accidentally hit the bus. Um, Somehow, Anjin knew that they were after the Helmicrons, which is what they're called, the little aliens. He knew the Calbrid were after the Helmicrons, so he sabotaged the Calbrid scout ship, basically turning their weapons array into a teleportation array. That's why when the bus ended up underground, there was no cave in. I mean, our vehicle was stuck in the rocks, but there was no cave in from above. That's why Sergeant Gabriel's truck didn't just fall into the hole with us. All he saw was the bus disappear, and then he kept driving around looking for us. So that's what happened there. Um, there's other stuff going on, but basically, if we can get our story right, we don't even have to leave town. We can just stay home and fight from there. But like Ken said, it'll be a matter of time before they figure out who we are. So we've got to be smart about this.
You, because he was trying to steal my food.
Um.
Why are you
Yeah.
keeping everything here?
Is that Nostra?
That's my
Yep.
mom.
Oh.
She's very loud. Is that right, Mom?
Is your mom actually Russian?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, how do you do a Russian accent so well?
Ah.
Oh.
English is her second language.
Gotcha. Anjin says, fighting. Look, we definitely have to get our story straight. but fighting these Kelbrid, it's no joke. They were originally human-like us, like you guys, hundreds of years ago. But then they started cybernetic enhancements, and of course, once you start going down that road, uh, it's only a matter of time before you start genetic enhancements, and then they started experimenting with nanoprobes and nanites, and then he stops talking, and a look of fear, just terror, comes into his eyes, and then he just kind of gulps and says, "Their entire species was then absorbed by some kind of entity called the One. This creature was basically like a god, and he wanted to use the Kelbrid Empire. Because before, they were very honorable, trustworthy. They had a treaty with the Andalites. They didn't fight in the Yerk-Andalite War, but they at least stayed in their, section. They in their territory. They didn't mess with us, or they didn't mess with the Andalites, and the Andalites didn't mess with them. But once the One absorbed them about 20 years ago, he began influencing them, and now they can absorb knowledge and individuals and technology into themselves. So, yeah, they're not going to be easy to beat when they can just walk by a Gatling gun and then it becomes part of their body. So, yeah. That's why secrecy is, if we do decide to fight, secrecy is our main goal, our main weapon.
Kill him.
What was that?
It's like that's all. It's like Jimmy's just mind. It's like he's like, gotta learn to kill him.
Yeah. Well, the good news is
Yep.
enough brute force will eventually take them down. Stepping on them with an elephant probably will work. But we also have to develop technology. Uh, you know, we have Andalite allies, we have Kelbrid allies, we have allies of other species. We can develop technology to eventually eliminate their technological advances, but it'll take some time. So he looks from between everybody, and he looks at Alex and he says, "So Ken says fight, Ben says fight. What do you say, Alex?"
But and we should just stay here and stay on the radar. They'll eventually find us, but
But do you want to live your normal life, or do you want to fight in the shadows?
I'll fight in the shadows
Okay.
and pretend to live my normal life, so they don't grow suspicious.
Okay. And he looks to Jimmy. He says, "And your vote?"
Right.
All right.
Not
Well,
much else to do.
yeah. I'm gonna vote for fight two. I don't know what Marco wants because he's not here, but it's got to be unanimous because if one person doesn't want to fight, they could be a liability, and basically, they could, for all we know, they could just turn us in exchange for protecting their family.
I see. Remember
So,
Carson? So she's like this.
Marco, uh, Marco is in not in a good state right now.
that's okay. Well, it looks like we're gonna fight. We'll talk to Marco after this. Um, but it looks like and he kind of, he gets this look in his eye like he's thinking back in the past about something, but he goes, looks like we're gonna be the new Animorphs. Oh, and there's one more thing. I'm half Andalite. Don't even think about how that's physically possible, but
The power of
Okay.
morphine.
oh no, he says no. My mother was Andalite. My father was human. Do let's see. Does anybody have any other questions that you guys want to ask him? And then if you don't, I'm gonna narrate the last bit, and then we'll be done with book one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I have a question.
I have
Sure.
no, I have no question.
Okay.
All right, my question is, so how long have you been here?
I've been on this planet my entire life. Um, he, look, 20 years ago, there was a big war. Andalites and humans versus the Yerks. The Yerks are slugs. They go in your head. They take over. Blah blah blah. Body, invasion of the body snatchers, that kind of thing. Um, after the
Great
war,
brain flows.
yeah, after the war, my mom, she was a fighter pilot, and her her jet. Oh no, she was a diplomat, an Andalite diplomat. My dad was the fighter pilot. Basically, a terrorist was going to kill her, assassinate her, or something, and he protected her. And of course, they fell in love. Blah blah blah. But a few years later, the president and the rest of the governments around the world decided, you know what? It's too dangerous for humans to know aliens existed, so they started their little propaganda campaign, began removing everything out of the history books and off the internet about aliens. Obviously, you'll have your conspiracy theories out there being like, oh yeah, aliens exist, blah blah blah, but they're easily written off as conspiracy theorists. And most of you, he kind of gestures to, well, all of you, and he says, you guys were born after all of this happened, so as long as your parents didn't tell you about it, then you wouldn't know about it. So that's probably why you have no knowledge of aliens and stuff like that. But so yeah, I've been living here. My human parents are my adopted parents, and it's a long, complicated story. But suffice it to say, um, I'm human where it matters. Basically, I'm loyal to Earth, and my mom was Andalite, but I I gave up that to look and be human and not be able to morph. That's another thing. I don't remember if I told you. I probably did, but don't stay more than 2 hours in a morph, or you'll stay there forever. He gestures to his body and he says, "This is not my normal form. Normally, I have stalk eyes on top of my head, and I'm blue. Um, but I decided to stay in this human morph for more than 2 hours, and now I'm permanently human, and this is my new normal, basically." Um, anyway, but yeah, I hope that answers your question. I've basically been on Earth my whole life.
So you can't morph anymore?
Um, but when I looked half Andalite, I had a whole other morphing ability, and then once I became human, staying past the 2 hour mark, I could no longer morph. I was basically just a normal human. But then now, since I got the morphing ability back from Anjin, I can morph again. But this is still my normal body. I can never go back to my half Andalite, half human body, unless something happens spectacularly. But all right. Any other questions before I read the last narration?
Oh,
Okay. After we spoke, I simply walked silently, staring dreamily off into the blue horizon in the distance over the sand. So now you know. You know about the Kelbert invasion, and you know why I'm making my confession, my admittance of guilt, cowardice, and failure. The world must be warned of the Kelbert threat, but not at the expense of my identity, or that of my fellow new Animorphs. Not even the identities of those I'd failed, Miss Walters, Bob, Deb, Cora, Scava, Anjin, the missing students, so many others. I even feel remorse for Fassi and the Primals. I find myself wondering if Fassi had ever been a human teenage girl, or if she'd always been a Kelbert agent, placed placed in Miss Walters' science class from the start. All in all, I'd failed in my most sacred duty. If I thought it would be for the better, I'd resign my commission as a cop, but for all I know, that would cast more suspicion on both me and the students. So I'll continue on in my shame, pretending to everyone, myself included, for the sake of all life on Earth. This is my confession. We are the new Animorphs. And that is the end of book 1. And then probably next episode I'm gonna just develop, or next session I'll develop like an actual mission for us to use our battle morphs in. Um, yeah. So what do you guys think? You guys have fun? I feel like you guys had more fun in the last session. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't
No,
know.
this one was good too.
Yeah, it
it's
was
fun.
good. Also, there's a cat on my lap. Would you
What?
like to see the cat?
Sure. I mean, cats are good, right?
Cat on a lap.
Cat.
He's so cute.
He's a Russian blue. I got him yesterday.
Oh. Where'd you get him from? The pound?
Kinda has a... No, it was actually from a Navy officer that was unable to take the cats with her.
Oh,
Fostered them for a year and then...
gotcha.
We got the complicated baggage, but we'll handle him. His first day, he immediately decided to snuggle with my mom and I.
What's his name?
At first it was Bruce and then Roger, but I decided to call him Vasily.
Okay, that's a lot of names. We had one cat that we tried to figure out a name for, because he always liked to look around and explore things. So because he was an explorer, we just called him Magellan for a while. But then because he got into trouble, we just started calling him Turd, and then now that's his actual name is Turd. You little turd.